Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Keeping Up with the Hornets. Today we are here with the speech and debate team. I will let them introduce themselves, and I'm pretty sure you already know me. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Sophia. I'm in 10th grade, and this is Keeping Up with the Hornets.
Hi, I'm Jessie. I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Joseph. I'm a junior.
Sophia, I'm a junior as well.
All right, so let's get this started. So my first question for you is, what got you into speech and debate?
I guess I always wanted to do it in middle school, so I started freshman year, so I've just been doing it since.
For me, one of my friends told me that he was going to join. It was kind of like a bandwagon effect. I didn't really expect that to get this into it.
Also freshman year, I didn't join initially, but about halfway through the year, I had a couple other friends in speech and debate, and I just kind of followed them to practice one day and never looked back.
All right, so what's a story that you have, or something that's admirable for someone who wants to join?
I would say, first of all, the community we've built around this is definitely a big thing. Within the team, we have a lot of friends. The tournaments are always super fun. You're never bored. You always have someone to talk to, and you end up branching out to a lot of people who I don't think you would normally talk to. Like you guys, I think without the team, I don't know if we'd talk that much. And then also outside of the team, you end up meeting a lot of people, tournaments, states, nationals. We do have a few friends outside the team that we end up seeing at larger tournaments. So you definitely do forge a lot of connections.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, you can go.
I'd just say that with building different cases for debate, I've definitely learned a lot about global affairs and everything that I don't think I would normally know about, and all the information has been pretty applicable to different subjects, and it's definitely made me more aware of what's happening, I guess.
Yeah, and there's always that speaking aspect. I mean, speech and debate, you're going up in front of people, presenting ideas. Public speaking is probably one of the most common fears in the world, and you're
It's number
directly
1 or 2, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, you're directly confronting it. And public speaking is just ubiquitous as a wonderful skill to have in high school and in the future.
So I'm curious. I know I already asked this question from the first one, and I know you kind of already explained this, but how long have you guys been in speech and debate for?
I've done it all 3 years. I've been at Bishop Moore, so yeah.
I started sophomore year, so I've been doing it for 2 years now.
This is my 3rd year.
Okay. So what is it like to be in this club? Are there certain requirements?
I think one of the really great things about speech and debate is you can pretty much join it any time in the year, and you don't have to have any prior experience or knowledge, because I know I didn't. And it's just really, if you're willing to put in the work, because as much as work you put into it is what you get out of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely something that helps with being in the club is we're extremely flexible. You only go to the tournaments you want to go to and the ones that you can make. Practices, you can pretty much come at whatever practice works for you, stay as long as you want. Our main thing is just communicate with the coaches when you're going to come. And yeah, as Jessie said, you put in what you get out. I will say different events do tend to have somewhat different time commitments and stuff. Debate, which Jessie does, I would say maybe one of the more time consuming ones just because of all the research that goes into it, whereas speech and interpretation are maybe a bit less time consuming.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm curious, how long has this club been around for? Because I know that I heard about it my freshman year, since I'm a sophomore. But how long has this club been around?
This is our 10th year, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, in the history of Bishop Moore, it's a fairly new thing.
I guess there had been a speech and debate club prior where they kind of just sat around and debated, but it's been 10 years since we've officially been going to tournaments and participating and things like that officially.
So what's the proudest, or I guess the greatest accomplishment speech and debate has gotten so far?
Sophia got first place at the University of Florida's tournament, which is a really big deal.
Yeah, it was an invitational. I would say, like, we're a pretty competitive team. We regularly go to nationals. We, especially recently, we've been making it to elimination rounds and even finals in invitational tournaments. And this year we actually anticipate hopefully bringing one of the biggest numbers we've ever brought to nationals.
And every year we've been in existence, we've sent at least one person to nationals. So.
Yeah, I mean, like going to nationals and like succeeding there too, and even in the local levels, we're doing very well. Like regularly, everyone is placing. A lot of people do well.
We get like team sweepstakes almost every tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see this club growing in the future?
I mean, compared to my freshman year, I think this team has tripled, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
And I really think that just depends on, like, I know I've brought a few of my friends in, and you guys have as well, and I just think I see it growing, and we'll get better with time and keep succeeding at tournaments.
I think, especially as I guess we do more and maybe work on kind of, I guess, like spreading the word about our team more. Because I know especially this year we definitely got a large influx of new students. So just hopefully this trend continues in the future, because I genuinely think this is just such a fun team to be on, with so many useful skills you can learn, and just open to pretty much anyone who wants to join. Like, doesn't matter what you do. We have people in theater, choir, art, athletes, like all walks of life, basically.
Yeah, like I think we're bound to grow. I mean, we're going to get more and more successful. I mean, like Sophia said earlier, that we expect for nationals to qualify a lot of people, more than ever before. So the more successful we are, the more eyes we're going to attract and the more people will join. I think it's just an exponential curve.
Yeah. So could you break down, like, what are the specific events that the team participates in?
I'll start with debate. There's public forum, which is 2-on-2 debate, and that's more so on, like, global policies. Like right now it's like if the Federal Trade Commission should establish regulatory framework, but it differs. And then LD is 1-on-1 debate, and that's more about morality. Like right now I think it's if it's immoral to own nuclear weapons. And then there's also Congress, which is basically it's I think about 15 people in a chamber, and they come up with different legislations and debate about that as well.
And then there's speech. It's like an oration event, and there are different like subsections like OO, original oratory, a 10-minute pre-written memorized speech. You perform it, any topic of your choosing, usually persuasive. Then there's info, once again a 10-minute pre-written memorized speech. This time it's informative and usually like more objective, and you have boards. And there are other events like impromptu, extemp, more like off-the-cuff events that you don't prepare beforehand.
Yeah. And then I do interpretation, which it's kind of the secret third option that no one knows about.
Yeah.
But it's essentially an acting event. You have three major types. You have humorous interpretation, dramatic interpretation, and duo interpretation. Humorous and dramatic, as the name suggests, in one you would be performing a humorous script and in the other a dramatic script. And then duo, it can be either humorous or dramatic or a mix of both, but the main difference is you're doing it with a partner. And in all of these events, you're gonna take any piece of published material, could be a book, a play, movie, whatever, cut it down to around 10 minutes in length, and then you would perform it either by yourself or with a partner. But the catch is no costumes, no props. Everything you do, you're gonna be pantomiming it or differentiating characters with voices and postures, and it's honestly just a lot of fun.
So it's like essentially like you're just improving a script.
Not improving, because you do have your script memorized and you generally stay with the same script the entire year. But yeah, definitely.
So like something similar, in a sense, or
I guess Kind of, in that they're both acting, and in
Yeah.
improv you tend to pantomime, but it's still substantially different, I would say.
Right. So, I know that there's speech and debate. Do you have to specifically pick which part of speech and debate, or is it just like all one thing essentially?
You can definitely float around and see what fits you best. I've done public forum, which is the 2-on-2 debate, all 3 years, and I dipped my toe into impromptu one time. But you're not married to an event or a partner,
Right.
and you can float around as much as you want to until you find your specialty.
For sure. And then within speech events, there is the option to double enter, which essentially means that at the same tournament you could compete in 2 different speech events.
So, now the team has traveled a lot, especially for out of town events and things like that. What is like I guess your favorite place you've gone to for speech and debate?
I mean, last year for NCFL Grand Nationals, we went to Chicago,
That was a lot of fun.
and that was wonderful. I mean, it's a big city. It's Chicago. It's not much you can say.
I like going to Gainesville. I think the UF campus is pretty, and I think it's definitely like a good taste of like successful people as well as competing like at a college campus to show like what you can do.
And then this year, speech and debate, the way it's run, we have 2 different nationals. We have one in Virginia and the other in DC, so that'll be fun.
Okay, yeah. So, how long are your tournament days? Like when you're going out of town, or like, say it's a tournament here, like in the state of Florida.
I'd say we normally get there around 8 a.m. and then you have 2 rounds in the morning, lunch, and then 2 more rounds, and then awards. So it's normally about like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., I would say.
For local tournaments, then of course travel tournaments are going to be a lot longer. Generally, some of the larger tournaments, so you have your national qualifiers, states, invitationals, those are generally going to be around 2 days, maybe an extra day for travel and stuff. And then the longest is the NSDA nationals, which is a week.
So, if you could like switch like the events, like where you would go, or like who's competing for the club that day, like what would you change about it?
I think it'd be interesting to try interpretation. It's definitely the most fun event to watch because it's super entertaining, and I think it's definitely a lot different than debate, but like I'd say just as much work at like honing your skills. So I think that'd be fun to try.
I think I would try debate. I think I would probably do Lincoln Douglas, just solo, see how it goes. I mean, a bunch of the debate people have been trying to push me into that. I'm like, no, thank you. But that would be fun to try. Definitely not similar whatsoever to the event I do, OO.
I would want to try maybe either some form of debate or info. I guess like the idea of having boards to go with a speech, that's appealing. I think it would be fun to create them and just see like what I could do with that.
So, what has been the biggest challenge for speech and debate?
I think just really practicing your skills and some topics, because generally for debate you get a new topic each month that you're debating on, and some of them are like a lot more random, I would say. Like right now we're on sports betting, but in the past it's been like Russian exploration in the Arctic. So I think it just really depends on the research as well as like which competitors you're going against, but I think it's all manageable when you like put your mind to it.
I think for the speech events, the biggest challenge is like getting used to rewriting what you have. I mean, usually you see the pattern of writing your speech in the beginning of the year, memorizing it, being happy with it, but then a few months go by, you still stick with it. By then you'll have to change it. You'll have to get rid of what you love about that speech to make it better. And I think revising and editing can be hard, especially if you've spent so much time with it.
Similar issues with interpretation where you might need to change some blocking or cut some lines that you just really liked. And then individually, I know for me and probably for a lot of other people on the team, the biggest hurdle was just like getting the confidence to actually go up there and speak.
Yeah. So I know that Sophia has shown me some of like the things that you do in debate on, but like what's a normal day for I guess your practices? Like what's a normal day look like?
Every Monday and Thursday we have practice from 3:40 to 5:15, and I'd say in the debate room, if we're not running practice debates, which is just going through the round, but with our team members, and then we get feedback. I'd say we're either doing topic breakdown where we just got the new topic and we're all like doing research and throwing out ideas, or we're doing just different drills to practice like our questioning periods.
Yeah, I think in the speech room, and this is all before we like separate, because in the beginning of our meeting we all get together as a team, debrief on something happening in the future, what's going on, but just a general debrief together, all the different events. But individually as speech, it usually consists of like very individual time where you're either writing, memorizing on your own, and then usually we spend the latter half performing our speeches, and then as a collective we critique it and compliment others.
Kind of similar with interp. If you're not memorizing or trying to block your piece, you're usually just practicing it either by yourself or with others, and then we kind of take turns going for the coaches, and you just get feedback on it. This late in the year, generally everyone's memorized, so a lot of the times we'll go through pieces kind of line by line, stopping whenever we think edits need to be made.
So I know how you said that like every other month you get like a new topic to debate on, but what is the topic for this month that you're debating on?
The topic for PF is if the Federal Trade Commission should establish a federal regulatory framework on sports betting. So that really just goes into, I guess, the ethics of sports betting, and then there's also the conversation of federal versus state powers. So you really get into like the nitty-gritty of the Constitution and just like the addiction of gambling. And then for Lincoln Douglas right now, I think the popular arguments with if owning nuclears or nuclear weapons is moral or not, I think it's like bioweapons and like mass destruction, and you really just like impact out like what the worst case scenario is and just like weigh.
Alright, so and before we go, do you have any last thoughts?
I would encourage everyone to at least try speech and debate and just attend one practice and see, because it's a lot different than it's sometimes made out to be, and I know I've made a lot of really good friends from it, and you can, whatever you're good at, you'll find something that enhances that in speech and debate.
Yeah, final thoughts, join the team.
Yeah.
It's a really good time. It's a really good experience. You
For sure.
learn really important skills. So my concluding thing is join the team, or at least what Jesse said, try it.
Yeah, same for me. Just would definitely encourage at least show up just one practice. We're very welcoming. Come whenever. We usually meet in Borders.
The English building.
Yes.
Alright, well that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Keeping Up the Hornets, and we'll see you in the next one.